I just made the dumbest mistake you can make on Mounjaro, and I made it for the second time. And to fix this mistake would cost me $1,200. And I don't know about you, but I don't have an extra $1,200 laying around to fix this problem. So today in this video, I'm going to talk about 1, what was this dumb mistake? 2, what problems did this dumb mistake create? 3, what is my plan to deal with this dumb mistake? So we're going to get into that today. Before we do, I want to check in with my weekly weigh-in. If you're new here, my name's Chris, and this channel is called it's not called My Mounjaro Journey. It's called My GLP-1 Journey because there's more and more GLP-1 medications out right now. And right now I'm using Mounjaro, a 7.5 milligram dose. I am 60 years old. I'm a husband, father, teacher. I've got young kids, 5, 7, and 9. I just turned 60, and I want my 60s to be my best decade so far. All right, well, let's talk about the weigh-in. My high weight was 280 pounds. Last week, I weighed in at 241.3 pounds, and this week I weighed in at 240.2 pounds. That's a solid loss of 1.1 pounds. My appetite suppression, I'm on 7.5 milligrams. My appetite suppression has been down some. Food noise is up a little bit. Weight loss is kind of plateaued. Talked to my doctor about increasing to 10.5 milligrams. We had a little snafu with the refill, so I've been on 7.5 for another 4 weeks. I should be refilling this upcoming week at 10 milligrams and next week be on 10 milligrams. I hope that's going to up the appetite suppression, reduce the food noise, and so I can get moving down into the 230s and 220s. Okay, so that is my weight update. So I'm sure you would like to know, what is the dumb decision I made for the second time? Here's what happened. It was Friday night. I'm doing work after dinner, which I hate working at home, but sometimes, that's what you got to do. I'm sitting at my laptop, working, distracted, but then the thought comes to my mind, this is my injection night. I need to take my Mounjaro shot. So I grab it out of the refrigerator, bring it back to my desk. I'm working with my pen and but still looking at my laptop. Then I start kind of very distracted I start this ridiculous debate over where to inject myself. I prefer to inject in my thigh. But then I was thinking, it seems like I've been injecting for several weeks in my thigh. Maybe I need to switch to my belly. But I don't like sticking myself in my belly. But I thought maybe, I need to kind of rotate it. And so I decided that was what I was going to do. And while I was going through this deliberation, but still looking at my work laptop, I had loosened the cap of the pen, and that registered in my mind that I had actually taken it off, but I hadn't fully removed it. So I, lifted up my shirt, went to stick myself. Like I said, I hate sticking myself in the stomach. And so I kind of took a deep breath, exhaled, pressed the button, kind of got prepared for the stick, and the stick never came. I examined the pen. I saw the cap was loose. I pulled it off, and then a fountain of Mounjaro cascaded into the air. And there went my dose for the week. So I was so mad at myself. And the first problem is money. As I said, I've done this before. And so last time I went to see if I could get a replacement pen. Insurance won't cover that. So I asked how much it would cost. And you can't buy just one pen, so you have to buy a whole box. So to replace this pen, I would have to buy a box of 4, which would cost $1,200. So, I can't do that. So I'm going to have to go a week without Mounjaro. So the big issue is, what's going to come next here. And I'm heading into a challenging week as far as Mounjaro. It's a great week, actually. I'm a teacher. I have spring break, and we're doing a little getaway with our kids. So that's wonderful. But the problem is I'm going to be off Mounjaro. My appetite suppression decreases. Food noise goes up. I'm off my routine. I'm on vacation. I'm in a let loose, relax, carefree mindset, at least as much as you can be with a 5, 7, and 9-year-old. So all those things work against me, really sticking with my plan. So basically for the next 7 days, I've got an environment that's working against me as far as healthy eating. What I'm going to have to do is think about the upcoming week and reframe it. And what I'm going to call this is a containment week. So success is going to be about containment. That means my goal is not to lose weight this week. My goal is to limit the damage. If I come out of this week stable, within a pound or 2, that's a win. Because the danger here is not so much the missed shot. The real danger is what I'm going to call an exception cascade. That's when you make one mistake on your eating and you're like, I've already blown it at breakfast. I might as well start over tomorrow. Then the exceptions start cascading through the day. And then after a day, you can say, you know what? I'm on vacation. I'm going to give my self a couple days of no constraints. Keeps cascading. And I found myself when I do that, I can put on 5 pounds in a week. So I really don't want to start the exception cascade, but yet I want to be realistic about the challenge I have in front of me. I've got some strategies in place for my upcoming weeks, some simple guardrails, not complicated. That doesn't work for me. Not perfect, just clear. Number 1, protein first at meals. I need at least 150 grams of protein per day to preserve this massive muscular body of mine, or more accurate to say, to keep from losing the muscle that I have. So I need 150 grams of protein. The nice thing about that is if I put in protein first, that's very satisfying, filling, and reduces the temptation to overeat. I'm going to keep my breakfast and lunch structured. So I'm basically doing the same breakfast, same lunch every day. We actually booked a hotel room that's kind of like a 1-bedroom apartment with a little kitchen in it, so that we even on vacation, we cook in the hotel room quite a bit. One, to eat healthy. I've got my food issues. I've got a daughter who has severe food allergies, so she's really restricted in what she can eat. And then it also saves us a ton of money. Gosh, nowadays, if I take my family to McDonald's, we blow $40, $45. If I go to Chili's or TGI Fridays, you're blowing $80, $90. If you go to a steak place, you're going to blow $200. Anyway, you can tell I'm a little frugal and upset about inflation. But so we eat in the room a lot, and we like it. It's what my kids are used to, and I'm at a point where I don't necessarily, we go do activities, but I don't want to go just from activity to out to lunch to activity to out to dinner. It's kind of nice to have breakfast in, have lunch in, maybe go out for dinner after an activity. We enjoy that kind of pacing. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing. Then 1 plate at dinner, no seconds. And then I'm going to give myself 1 optional indulgence per day. And I'm carefully phrasing that because I don't want to say 1 per day. Because if I'm having a good day, I don't have to do it. And that's how my brain will think. You planned your 1 indulgence, so I don't have to do it. And I don't crave junk food the way I used to. And I hope that will continue through the week. But I also don't want to set myself up for failure on vacation with no Mounjaro. So I'm going to say 1 indulgence and put a constraint around it, fence it in. And then I'm going to share that with my wife. Now, there's only so much my wife can do. I'm going to ask her if she would be willing to give me a gentle reminder about my guardrails. And that's it. She's not responsible for keeping me from overindulging, but she's willing to just give me a gentle reminder. I'm responsible for what happens here, but a little reminder can help. So what I'm remembering this week, it's not about being perfect. It's just preventing 7-day drift. It's not like if I blow it one time or choose to indulge one day, then I've blown the week. It's very likely this will not be my cleanest week, my tightest week on plan. But that doesn't mean I have to throw the whole plan out. It's certainly better to have a great breakfast and a great lunch and not so great at dinner than to have a bad breakfast, bad lunch, and bad dinner. So that's the constraint I'm putting on this. I'm being realistic, but I'm not throwing everything out because I don't want that. I don't want that. So if you are interested to see how this turns out, join me next week and I'll give you a report on this 7 days. If you saw my last video, this week I also experimented with 2-minute exercise program. I'm going to put that together into a video and probably share that midweek, so be looking for that. I've got a school community filled with great people who are on a GLP-1 journey. We call it Uncensored Support Group because you can talk about anything. And it's a private, supportive place. So the link is in the video descriptions for that. And remember to take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, nobody else will. All right. God bless.